2021. And, here's the truth, guys. Sometimes the most difficult discussions, are the ones that you need to have the most. And with the gaming community already being such a diverse place, it's time for the creative space to reflect that. So here's Take Two with an important discussion on the necessity of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and the corporate responsibility to honor those things. With the gaming community already being such a diverse place,
is that companies are now looking to invest in getting more diversity in their ranks and getting more stories told from different points of view. Making sure that students of color, Black and Indigenous students in particular, because they have the least amount of representation within our industry out of all the various demographic groups.
Game designers and social innovators, right? To use games for social change.
Wait a damn minute.
Use games for social change.
Bro, what the fuck is she talking about? What the fuck is she talking about? Like, I'm trying to get what she putting down, but it's just.
So they have to think about how games can help make their communities better. So.
Oh shit! Here we go again.
The idea of mentorship and representation. Layla, talk about the workshops and the summer programs that you offer to girls. How does that help to increase the representation and the mentorship aspects that we've talked about?
I'm done. No!
This is their first time walking into a room full of girls who love video games. They've been so accustomed to kind of being the only girl on their robotics team, or the only girl that went to a coding camp with their brother.
On average, men are more interested in things and women are more interested in people. And that's actually the biggest difference we know of psychologically between men and women. And even though men and women are quite similar, all things considered, the extremes make a difference. So you imagine that in order to become an engineer, look, obviously not everyone becomes an engineer. You have to have a particular temperamental proclivity to become an engineer. You have to be extraordinarily interested in things rather than people. Well, most of those people are men. And if you want to become a nurse, well, then you have to be much more interested in people than you are in things. And most of those people are women. And so you get differences in occupational choice that are also, by the way, quite great in Scandinavia, especially in the case of engineering and nursing, that are mostly due to biological differences, and you cannot minimize that by social engineering.
Really enjoy that. And something else you mentioned is just like really opening this world of gaming to new, diverse, a pool and a spectrum of gamers.
With the gaming community already being such a diverse place.
And the reason why is because alongside diversity and equity inclusion, there's a new word that's come up a lot, which is belonging.
Is this nigga serious?
And I think the work that we all share is trying to disrupt some of those mental gymnastics, socioeconomic gymnastics, social gymnastics that young women, people of color, indigenous people, neurodiverse people need to do in order to be as great as they are.
Organizations, companies like Take Two have to be visible to young people, not just because they're buying, they're downloading the games off of off of Xbox or PlayStation, but because they're there in front from the beginning. And so Take Two has been part of our challenge since the beginning, offering scholarships to our grand prize winners. And I can tell you that that's a motivator for kids to participate, not just because there's a scholarship at the end, but it's because Take Two is part of it. Like, it made us cool, right? And I think it's that relationship at that young of an age that makes a connection for people. Is like, yeah, they want to hear what I have to say.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Is making the success of Black people, of women, of queer people, of indigenous people, neurodiverse people, a business goal. Oh!
That's just instant. That's done. That's it. It's finished. Shut the thing down.
No.
Shut it down. Shut up. Shut up, fam. No. Bro, kill the thing up. That's it. That's it, bro.
Guys, see you in the next video.
Bro, shut up.
So, as you just saw, that was the so-called issues in the gaming community. Now, not the fact that how the same company that these people are sponsored by, Take-Two, the same company that released one of the most greediest games of all time, which is GTA 5. Yeah, GTA 5, the same game that it has been calculated that it cost $10,000 in order to buy everything in the game. Every single thing in the game is 10,000 real life money, not the in-game money, real life, buy everything in the game. But they don't talk about that. They don't talk about how the fact that games are being released broken, the fact that games are being released unfinished, the fact that games are being released without the things that they were promised.
This is a disaster, and it's all on the shoulders of Bonnie Ross, Kiki Wolfkill, Frank O'Connor, and Phil Spencer, as well as any Xbox and Microsoft leadership involved with the production and planning for this game. You all fucked up. You fucked up bad. You fucked up so bad, I can't even wrap my pea-sized brain around it. You promised this feature to be in all Halo FPS titles moving forward. You're a liar. You promised that in 2017 after the backlash from Guardians. You're a liar. Your current CEO said this.
We didn't put split screen in with Halo 5. I think it's incredibly painful for the community and for us. You know, I think it erodes trust with the community, as the community is part of our world building. A lot of learnings from that. And I would say for any FPS going out forward, we will always have split screen in going forward, but painful learnings. Liar!
Your previous creative director, Chris Lee, said that yes, split screen co-op was a priority for Infinite. And then in 2020, he said yes, co-op is gonna launch with the game.
So that was a fucking lie.
For 5 years, you have reassured us countless times that this is something you want to accomplish. It's coming, don't worry, we hear you. You haven't heard shit. What were you trying to pull a fast one? You think we just forget that your CEO got up on stage and just fucking lied to your consumers and fans and people like me who promoted this game thinking it was gonna be the next big thing? Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar! Getting my hopes up to play this game split screen co-op with whoever I wanted to try to relive the glory days. You fucking lied to me.
The fact that game developers are lying to their consumers, or customers, sorry, not consumers, to their customers. The fact that game publishers will release a game with add-ons and DLC and all of that, but they don't talk about that. They don't talk about all those things. They talk about diversity and inclusion and, you know, like how we don't have enough representation when we've had representation for literally years. But, you know, as I've just shown before. But they will say this because they want to push a narrative and basically sidetrack you from the actual issues with the game industry, like I just named. And they will continue to do this until the gaming community stops caring about it, and they'll just turn everyone to sheep. But I ain't gonna be one of those people. That's for damn sure. I will die on this hill. I'm not changing who I am and what I say just to appeal to them. These companies don't care about you. They don't. All they care about is a narrative to be spewed so they can make more money. But it didn't. But the thing is, thank God this backfired. So that's a good thing. I'm glad it did, because Take-Two deserves no credit. Take-Two is one of the most greediest companies in the gaming industry, and they deserve no credit for what they've done, especially on GTA, especially on Take-Two and all those games, the most greediest games you could play. I've put over, I would say, 800 hours into GTA, and I can tell you that GTA is a grindy game. I put 800 hours into that game, and I still haven't got everything in the game. I put 800 hours into the game, and I have not purchased everything. That's how grindy that game is. It's so grindy that even people who put hundreds of hours into the game do not get everything. That's what they don't talk about. They don't talk about how games are not being designed for fun. They're being designed for grindiness and having to pop out your wallet. See how that guy just said earlier, how you buy your skins. That's what they care about. The skins, just paying for stuff. They don't actually care about how the fact that gamers are being screwed over. They care about the diversity and the inclusivity of the gaming community and the gaming developers, and that you need to be respectful and inclusive, like all these buzzwords to put you in line. And I'm here to say that I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Gaming has been diverse for the last 20 to 30 years. We've had female main protagonists, male main protagonists, black, Hispanic, native, whatever race you think of. But we don't point that out. We push it aside and say, we need more. What is more? What is enough? What is enough? Please tell me what is enough, because I need to know. What is enough diversity? What is enough? When is the limit? When do you get to the limit? There is no limit. You guys have not created one. You just say that that haven't got enough. You want it to be so like inclusive that it's not inclusive. You're gonna hit a wall eventually. You're gonna hit a wall, and when you hit that wall, you're gonna realize that you just wasted your time. And it's gonna happen whether you guys like it or not. But they're not gonna listen to this, so I don't really care. I will end it with this quote: if you try to change a industry by including something that no one wants, then you won't change anything and just make things worse.